What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for episode 12 of our College Football 25 Dynasty with Florida International, better known as Vice U. Last episode did not end the way we necessarily wanted it to. We were gross underachievers from the standpoint of we won the CUSA, went 11-3, got a college football playoff berth. Now, the media was in uproar over said college football playoff berth that a CUSA team with 2 losses should not be in the college football playoff, let alone get a first round bye. But the schedule makers said, all right, we'll show them. We're going to schedule them Florida, who they lost to earlier in the season. They're going to take on the Gators, and the Gators are going to humble them. And you know what? We never really were in that game, but we never really were out of that game. And I think we went down fighting. Couple nice moments, couple learning moments, couple question marks, especially around the quarterback. Has us now starting year 4 of our journey with FIU. And not only is it a revenge tour of, let's get back to the college football playoff, we are in a brand new conference. There was a caveat against Florida in the college football playoff that if we did win that game, we would get an offer to join the SEC. Unfortunately, we lost. So without making it necessarily sound like a backup plan, we have joined the ACC. We've accepted their offer. I was looking at maybe potentially bumping out some schools. Wake Forest has not been particularly good. Louisville has struggled the last couple of years. But I just decided, you know what, we'll join. We'll join with the best intentions. We're not going to take anyone away. And we're going to give 18 teams here in the ACC. And looking at it from at least preseason rankings, we still carry over our number 5 ranking, and we're 87s across the board. So even though we're only a 2.5-star prestige program, the way that PL Mullins has grown and developed this team, handled in the transfer portal with recruiting. Last year we got 7 4-star players. Our goal was 3. So we were overachieving as a program, and now that we are getting the financial backing, the NIL fund is growing more, that we're in the ACC, I think we're going to be able to compete with the NC States, the Pitts, the Georgia Techs, the SMUs, the Clemsons, and, the old guard that is probably, potentially could bounce back at any time in Florida State, in Miami, Stanford, who knows? So, new beginnings. And the first kind of taste of joining the ACC that we got is your initial recruiting board. Because that is where, optimistically, we're like, all right, we're going to have a bigger pool of players. We're going to be able to cast a net of players that want to play in the ACC conference versus playing in the CUSA. And here is our initial short list. It's a little big at 19 total targets because even though we are developing and growing leaps and bounds as a program, our hours haven't necessarily caught up to our on-field success. So with only 625 hours, I thought it was best to just kind of, I went for the swing for the fences approach. This class could absolutely end up burning us in the face because, as you can see, most of this board is 4-star talent. This is the type of recruiting you would see from more of a blue blood. But, we made the college football playoff last year, so there's a lot of interest. And how I essentially cultivated this board was any 4-star player that had us on their top 10 list. Now, we've had and done series and content before where you put house rules in effect. Where, the most common one has been, I can't go recruit players that don't have us in their top 10 schools. I don't have that here with Florida International, with Vice U, but because of my lack of resources still, it just makes the most sense to target guys that are already invested in our school and gives us a little bit of a starting point. Now, that's not to necessarily say every single player is like that. We have Patausi. I also, if stylistically I couldn't find a 4 or a high-end 3, I'm talking like a top 1,000 3-star player that stylistically brings what I want. I then would just de facto to pipeline. So I had the Florida pipeline here on Larry Patausi, the 3-star. We actually scouted him out as a gem because I want to get some athleticism on the inside. Some undersized players are currently what make up our D-line, like guys that are converted defensive ends. I want the high-tier athleticism on a defensive tackle. That's a defensive tackle. I don't want to keep having to mix and match and slide big D ends into D tackle. And I feel like Patausi could potentially be that. And I mean, I look at the stats and I was like, all right, 84 finesse move, 86 tackle, 82 acceleration, 81 speed, 90 strength, 80 pursuit. This is a stud. And you look at it, he's 400th. He's closer to a 3-star recruit than he is a 4-star. So we're going to chase after, I think he is actually the only one that was not having us as a top 10 school. We got a couple 3-stars here. Alfonso Reddick, I saw at 6'6", 290. It's like another guy that, like, you know what? That's an interesting skill set. He's a 3-star gem. We get a 3-star gem here in Matthew Johnson at guard. But for the most part, we are swinging for the fences. Like, you know, we got a bust here in John Mama. We'll call him Joe Mama for short. 6'5", 290. Again, another player that could very easily kick inside a D tackle. He's a bust, but when you look at the stats and you look at the state of our defense, again, I view this guy as a D tackle. 80 power move, 85 strength, 86 acceleration, 76 speed. I mean, that's a mover. I have guys right now that if you're like 280, you can play D tackle. So if I can keep adding plus 10 and get those athletes, I'm going to do so. But again, because I casted this wide net of 19 targets with our limited hours, there are definitely players that have already mentally kind of prepared that if things get tight, maybe we got to shade them out the list. Like, again, Mama is a bust, so I guess we could assume this depth trade's not going to be particularly great. So we could shave him off. Don't really need much TLC on the offensive line. We got Brady, Johnson, and Yazzie. Though, I mean, I'm pretty good with our O-line. Our O-line's in a terrific spot, especially in relation to where we are as, like, rebuilding this program up. I don't really need wide receiver. Polian here, the 4-star gem at 6'4", 200 pounds with 93 speed, 93 jumping, 88 acceleration, 88 spec. Just gives a little bit different body type to our wide receiver room, but, like, I'm good with our wide out room. We have that running back, Lee Jimenez. 97 speed running back. Now, I'm a little bit worried when you see that discrepancy between the speed and acceleration, that he's going to have a weird skill cap where, like, he's always just going to have that versus, optimistically, you'd be like, oh, well, maybe you can get that 91 acceleration up to a 95 or 96. But that is a lot of speed. And what we have right now, we converted a wide receiver to running back, kind of did that cheese, but I don't want to abuse that cheese. He's going to strictly be our receiving back. We are going to primarily run between the tackles with our power backs. But that wide receiver, he's a senior. That dynamic of speed is only here for 1 year. So I do think while we have kind of entrenched starters that are power backs, someone like Jimenez with that 97 speed would give us a very interesting option, but it's not a necessity. And lastly, same with quarterback. We got George Tate, the 4-star gem. We're within his top 10. And this is just us chasing, high dev trait quarterbacks. We got a 4-star quarterback last year with an elite dev. Might not play for us, but it's just the swings that you take. And I think that's worth trying here with Tate, 93 throw power, but doesn't really have the athleticism, not a dual threat with that 80 speed. So he'd be a guy that if, the hours are getting stretched thin, we could consider dropping off. Last little piece I want to talk about for this class is speed. That is the thing I want. My defense got exposed against Florida because I don't have enough speed. So we got Soro at linebacker, currently at number 7, a linebacker with 92 speed. 85 tackle, 92 speed. That's a day 1 starter. But my biggest issue, we talked about it 17 goddamn times over those 2 Florida games last year. I don't have the athletes in the secondary. That is my number 1 priority. If I have to shift off some of these names because I get stressed in with the hours on the offensive line, I'm fine with it because the players I'm about to show you are integral to this class. These are the guys, every single one of them, I'm sending the house. I'm giving them top priority. It's the secondary. We have Dion Keith, top 100 player. I don't have his speed. He's the only player I don't have his speed, but the fact that he's a top 100 player and we're within his top 10, that's the only reason why I have him there. I assume he'd be quick enough as that speed bar looks pretty close. We have Cooper Kanoy, 99 speed athlete. Yep. We have Kerry Jowers, 99 speed. Yep. We have Willie Ojabo, the 4-star gem, 6'1", 200 pounds, 98 speed. Yep. Aladi at safety, 91 speed, 92 acceleration. Bridge, is this guy fast? 6'2", 220. Could he be allowed? 94 speed. Could be a goddamn linebacker if I want him to. We are getting faster on the defense, and these are going to be players we absolutely prioritize early and often in this recruiting cycle. So even after the first stage, week 0 of recruiting, we're running into that issue. We have stretched ourselves too thin, knowing that I'm going to have to go very hard. I'm like, Butasi, we're not even in his top 10, so we got to give it a go for a week. And then the linebacker was speed. The DBs have to be the top priority. And I feel like if we're not giving these guys 50, send the house, we're going to lose ground because there is big schools. Every Florida school, Georgia, Alabama, all these people are trying to get them. And I think our only chance is going to be to show them the most love. So with that being said, I'm not saying we're not going to, maybe by investing that many hours, we're going to get those guys signed quicker so we can get back to that second wave of recruiting and come back to some of these players. But we have to go with priority. So Riddick, the gem, Gone. We have Joe Mama. That'd be nice. Gone. 4-star. Yazzie. I don't need linemen. I just simply do not. Someone like Johnson, because he's a 3-star, I think like just throwing him 5 hours might be enough to get him keep. But like someone like Fisk, 266. So he's going to be a pass rusher. And even though he looks interesting, is that enough speed? Actually, now that I think about it, Banagu is... Let's go with someone like Fisk. We'll give him 35. We'll go 5 there. Brady, gone. I don't need quarterback, and he's not even really like stylistically the type of QB that I want. I do want the 97 speed of Jimenez. I feel like Polian... I think we go 15. I get it. It's just one of those things. Is 15 going to cut it on a 4-star? I mean, it'll keep us in the race. I think we'll go 5 for you. Can we give how many? Who else wants 5? We'll give 10 to Jimenez. And then 5 for Soro. But we're stretched thin. But I think it's paramount because we've had, this is something that I don't necessarily usually have to experience in the challenge when I do rebuilds. Because it's not like, it's a very high turnover. I've had 2-3 classes, even though it hasn't been 4-stars like this, worth of guys that I like. Even if they're good 3s. They're good 3s stylistically that I like. So I think it's more beneficial for our team with our limited hours to and it sounds incredibly obvious, but just go for the guys that are going to upgrade our team versus chasing high draft scores and high draft rankings for getting the most amount of 4-stars that we possibly get to have, whatever nonsensical score and ego trip. We need players that can help us in this jump to the ACC. And by that, we got to improve the defense first and foremost. Now that recruiting is understood, it's time to get into the regular season. Kick off year 4. What we're doing here today, we got 3 games. We're going to go FCS West, Louisville, welcoming us to the ACC. And then we have our rivalry game against Florida Atlantic. And that's the biggest game. I would honestly, if you told me right now you're going to have an upset loss to FC West, but you win Florida Atlantic, I would take that. Because how I want to build PL Mullins, and we've been talking about this when we get our points here. We've been, obviously we started with recruiter, we got that in a good spot. Tactician is almost maxed out. But our end game, obviously maybe someday program builder, CEO, whatever. But our current, kind of end game, what I'm working towards, I want to get Architect. But to get Architect, you need to win 4 rivalry games. I'm like, how do we only have 2 wins in 3 full seasons here? The only rivalry game FIU has is Florida Atlantic. So every time we play them that year, it is paramount we win because I need to get that unlock for Architect. I'll just fine-tune the depth chart the way I want it to. We got some new starters, how we're breaking down. Martini's going to be our starter at running back, freshman running back of the year. McNeil, the convert from wide receiver, is going to be a very, very slippery change of pace option. Nothing too crazy. Wide receiver Cage is who he is right now. Bethel Roman is the guy that stood up. Had over 100-some yards against Florida in that final game. And you break it down. This guy has some elite ability. 99 agility, 99 change of direction, 92 awareness, smart player. Catch of traffic's kind of butt cheeks. He's very one-dimensional in that regard. But he's an athlete. He can get the ball in your hand. I like athletes. That's kind of what we do. Offensive lines, obviously, it's in a great spot. What I actually did make a change here was at center. We got a little Jason Kelsey going on. When I looked at the stats for Levi Rambo, you look, all right, 67, 83, okay. Why does he have that much more speed than every other center? 81, that's elite. That is something that is 90 strength. He's a powerhouse, too. Thought about, honestly, maybe next year moving him to fullback, but I was like, yeah, maybe we could do that. Or maybe he develops into a 6 center, so I'm going to let him start there. Nothing else too crazy on the D-line. Keon Keeley, we got Kisai, 6'8", pass rusher with 93 acceleration. We're going to let him get after the quarterback as part of a rotation. We have Jordan Allen, who has that 94 acceleration, 92 strength, built differently. D-line feels good. Got a lot of speed at linebacker. Josiah Taylor, 97 acceleration, 89 speed, 95 agility, 94 change of direction. Built like a safety, plays like a linebacker. Pond's going to be back there. Spriggs going to be back there. We got Curtis. Secondary still is, a work in progress. It's definitely justified how much importance I want to put on it in recruiting. But I feel like we'll be able to kind of modify the depth chart there to be in a good spot. But the big decision came at quarterback. George Hendershot has been our starting quarterback for the last 2 seasons. He's done a solid job. He's done, he's done enough for me not to necessarily say he doesn't deserve to be the starter, but coming into training camp, LaNorris Sellers, big get for us on the transfer portal, one of the hottest, most dynamic quarterbacks in all of college football. Left South Carolina, came here, was our backup last season, went to training camp. That pissed him off. Now as a senior, huge growth and development. Got throw power. He said, oh, you like throw power? He had like 94 throw power. He's like, nah, I'm going to get 97. How about that? Does that get the job done for you? And we kind of left that cliffhanger in the last episode. Like, who do we do for quarterback? Do we kind of do dirty by George Hendershot? Or do we look at LaNorris Sellers? And kind of brought up some arguments. It's not uncommon for, like, an old, good, solid starting quarterback to get beat out in training camp if you truly embrace that competition. I think that's what we do. LaNorris Sellers has never had an opportunity to prove if he could be quarterback one, if he could be the guy that leads FIU, ViceU, into the ACC, into the college football playoff. He's only ever got in on garbage time. So I think it is fair to at least give him an opportunity. Very short leash, but a leash nonetheless to prove and showcase, is he the right guy? Is he the quarterback that is perfect for PL Mullen's system? Well, that's what we're going to find out here today in our 3 games. Let's get into game 1 and hopefully put 70 points on FCS. Now I'm going to use this game as a baseline where the sim defense is at. I don't feel like I need to bully FCS on both sides of the football. I want this to be a great little introduction to LaNorris Sellers as quarterback 1 of ViceU. Well, LaNorris, first completion as a starter. Here we go, Nico, beast. C4 special, yeah, let's be honest. Is there any other better way to cap off our first drive as a member of the ACC than a C4 special? I don't think so. Oh, let's go, Nico. Second level. Go, Norris. Get it to him. Get to your playmakers. Get that touchdown. Norris. 97 throw power. One of the biggest arms. He went to Mexico. Oh. Oh. Let's finish it off. There. Get him his touchdown. Turnover by the defense on the goal line. So we're going to go to one of our favorite plays. Direct snap. Nico Martini. Bloodbath. Oh, Martini second. I mean, it's, I can't even really gloat. We are just... He's bigger than their freaking D lineman. Goal to go. I mean, there's just... Can we get 100? Whew. Just... I mean, let's be honest. Why would I? Why would I do anything else? But... This makes me feel good of where we are as a team that we are almost expecting, and it feels this easy to shit pump any low-level bottom feeder team. All right, first and goal. We'll, gonna be cautious here. It's like Martini again. Oh, what a fight by Cage. I think we all know who's getting this ball. I think we all know who loves our wide receiver's inability to finish on the one. His name's Nico Martini. Let's go, baby. I mean, get out there and play. I'm not going to pull these starters. They earned this all off season. Get a touchdown here, man. Let's get a touchdown. Let's get 69 on the board. Go. Let's keep going. I want 100. Oh, man, we might be able to get this here again. These guys are gassed. They do not want to. Just they can't run with their guys that we got. Might have a chance. Our defense can get another stop. We ain't stopping. Wouldn't let. Oh, we got it! Kickoff return. Suck it. 100-0. Don't care. Don't care. That's going to give us a bad reputation. That is what you do. 7 touchdowns, LaNorris Sellers, 620 yards. We're playing like the old air raid. That game right there was P.L. Mullins' homage to Mike Leach. We gave those guys $200,000 to come and just help our quarterback. Because there's going to be games that it's going to be ugly in the ACC. And these games are going to help offset that. 600 yards, 7 touchdowns for LaNorris Sellers. Didn't get the backups in. Martini, 248 and 5. We got 220 and 3 for Cage, 226 and 4 for Bethel Roman. Everyone else, got them involved. Got some grabs. Defensively, we got 3 sacks, Jordan Allen, sack from Keon Keeley, a sack from Jermaine Carter, interior Sharon. We get a pick from Greg Cream, converted corner, playing this year at safety. It's a good confidence booster. There's a scrimmage. I will say, though, I don't think we should be getting Players of the Week with the game like that, okay? We know what we were doing. So off of that game, we now have a new school record holder, LaNorris Sellers, first start, most passing yards in a game. We also have Ashton Bethel Roman, most receiving yards in a game. LaNorris Sellers, most passing touchdowns in a game. Nico Martini, most rushing touchdowns in a game. Byron Cage already owned the TD record. That's what you need. Welcome to the ACC FIU. Game 2 is going to be a much tougher test. It is our welcome to the ACC moment against Louisville. What Louisville's good at, they got Jamari Johnson, one of the best tight ends in the country. Got good weapons. Wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, running back are their top players. Isaac Brown, big-time speed, big-time athlete there. Offensive line also. So it's an offensive-heavy team. Rating shows that. Not worried. Come on, man. Just no one getting open. We field goal range. We're kind of no man's. I think we go for this one. Nothing. Literally, I couldn't even check down the fucking running back. Defense gives up a field goal. Could have been a lot worse. We got to wake up. Can't say we're all tapped out after freaking running the score up last week. This is... If it wasn't almost 1 a.m. in the morning, I'm in one of those moods like this controller's getting tossed. Come on, fellas, wake up, please. Like, there you go. Just run a guy over. Give you the reminder that you know how to play football. Third and 6. Cross midfield. Hey, let's just get like a pretty much glorified run play. And at minimum, getting a field goal range so we can tie this up. Oh, my God. $100 points last week. 0 almost at halftime here today. Good block in there on the screen pass. Let's go Sellers. Oh, home run. There we go. Settle everyone down. Take a bow. All right, let's go. Let's look at Bethel across the middle here. And or just take off and do it again with LaNorris Sellers. Let's go, Goggles. Oh, my God. Nico Martini. 75 yards. That is how we start the second half. Looking like Saquon Barkley out there. Ooh, finally, this is the first time all-game Cage might have a shot here, 1v1. Even then, they're bringing the safety. I don't care. 1, 2, 3. Boom! On a rope. Let's go, Neil. Oh, my God. There's never a doubt that he was going to be our RB1 this year. Or like at 35-10, we get our first conference win and the most momentum this team has had as a football program going into a very important game. Rivalry week against FAU. Unfortunately, out of that game, massive injury. Season-ending injury. Jordan Allen, unable to go to Mexico to fix it. Forearm fracture, 15 weeks. We are in year 4. This is, without a shadow of doubt, the only injury we ever had that's more than like a week or two. It's going to be time for the 6'8" Kissy Eye to step up. It's time to go in this rivalry week, beat the brakes off of Florida Atlantic. Let's go rivalry week. Vice U uniforms at home. There, Nate. See if we can get on play action. Haven't got a true read on how LaNorris Sellers is on the play action. Wasn't really an element of our offense with Hendershot because his throw on the run was so... Oh, my God. Yeah, so it's... I mean, I don't think regardless of my team have I ever had play action passes work, so... Live and learn. Wow, 10-0 lead FAU. Remember when we scored 100 points? I do. Now we can barely get a first down. Covered. There's just not... They just eat the fucking hit because there's nothing there. Bethel Roman, hooks going deep. Little Cage. You want to make a play today? Oh, no, actually, he just wants to make half a play. Pitbull is here. We are in the Pitbull Stadium. He said bottles of cognac if we win. And we get half scores. So I believe, you know who wants it, though? Martini. Second and goal. Always got to, you know, open to Sellers just keeping this. We'll go inside the Cage. Pull one back. My God, dude. Sellers. Put just the amount of secondary plays he's going to give us. You can make those intermediate throws. You can scratch. Did we make the wrong call not letting him start last year? Boom. Touchdown. Tight end Simpson. Lead with the good guys. Defense gets us a stop. The next drive starts on our 1-yard line. Sick. Let's try this again. Man, we are going to get fucking smoked when we play some of the big dogs in the game. It's blocked because of the webcam. We have a little number 3 next to our name. I honestly don't know if we should be ranked. And I think when we play, like the NC States, the Pitts, have the fraud alert meme ready. Why aren't we getting a block there? Like that right there is like the stuff that's like, what difficulty can I get that like obvious things happen? Fuck! Oh, actually, that should be roughing the passer. I got smashed. Tack on 15, please. Dirty rivalry bullshit by FAU. We get Nico Martini to finish this off and go in the 4th with a lead, which we do. We already had a lead, but now it's bigger. Up 8. We've got FAU to use all their timeouts. A long drive. We'll take points here, but ideally hit him with a little bit of a slam dunk. And that's score the touchdown. And Sellers is in for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. What a weapon. Wow, instant touchdown from FAU, so you know what that means. Just have my wide receiver run right past the corner. Pad our stats. We'll take that. That is our 3rd of 4 that we need for the coaching tree unlock. So, till next year, FAU, goodbye. And go fuck yourself. This was a great way to end it right there, man. Undefeated, 3-0. But I wouldn't even consider or acknowledge that little number because until we play Miami, North Carolina, the NC States, some of these bigger dogs, we do have a pretty easy, it's one of those ones where we're getting eased into the ACC. But I have just a weird feeling, man, especially this one against the U, could derail our whole season from an undefeated and have us maybe have an appropriate fall from grace. Also, just kind of keep it at recruiting. We were never going to immediately get all these 4-stars, and you're already starting to see, like, Fisk is getting ready to commit. I don't know if we can close that gap. Patasi is close. Can we close that? Soro at linebacker's pretty much, like, honestly, we'll just take those points. That's brutal, too, man. He was a 90-speed linebacker that I really wanted. We got Bridge, who's, we might have a chance here on Bridge. Maybe hit him with 25. That's pretty much all we can do. Could bring him in a visit, but not enough time. The board is going to fall apart. I'm thinking if from this, again, can we get 7, 8 4-stars? I'll be pretty happy with that, especially these DBs. Need them. That'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed it. Until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace. I love you. Have a good one.